Alright YouTube, so I figured we'd take a break from our regular videos, which is pretty much just Final Fantasy VII Remake these days, and kind of do a review or give my thoughts on the Modern Warfare beta. Now if you've been around on my channel for a while, you know that I am a Call of Duty fan. I don't really produce content on it, though I've done a handful of videos over the years, and I did like a review of the World War II beta a couple years back or whatever, but I don't really make content on this, though it is a series that I absolutely do enjoy. Even if a lot of people think it's the same game every single year, it's still one of those games that I tend to pick up. I have skipped a few of them, but I play them mostly every year. When it comes to the Modern Warfare series, it's actually a series I've not really played. I own a copy of Modern Warfare 2. I've played a little bit of like offline multiplayer with some friends and played like co-op campaign, I think, and I've played a little bit of Modern Warfare 3. Never played the first Modern Warfare, so I'm not like invested in the series. When it comes to Call of Duty, if there is a series of games that I like, it's the Black Ops series. I've played all 4 of them so far. So when it comes to that Modern Warfare name, I don't have that nostalgia like a lot of other people out there that are super excited for another Modern Warfare game, but at the end of the day, it's Call of Duty. As long as the multiplayer is good, that's all that really matters. And when it comes to Call of Duty, I don't like invest my time into a bunch of game modes. I pretty much exclusively play Team Deathmatch. We might venture off and do some other stuff here and there. When it came to Black Ops 4, I pretty much only played Blackout, and that was honestly the best aspect of that game in my opinion, was the Battle Royale mode. Really hoping that there is one for this game as well, because I don't know how much of the multiplayer I'm going to play. I did like Team Deathmatch. I did like Ground War that we played. I didn't really venture off into the other game modes at all, like the S&D kind of game mode. And the 2v2 I played one game of. But it's really just Team Deathmatch and Ground War that I was enjoying so far. When it came to the gameplay, it did feel like an older Call of Duty because we had World War II like 2 years ago. Black Ops 4 was last year, which was boots on the ground, but it didn't really feel like classic Call of Duty because you still had specialists and all kinds of crazy equipments and abilities. This is not that. You have field upgrades, which aren't like abilities or anything, but it's something you get in like throughout playing a match or whatever. I guess technically you could compare them to abilities or specialist skills, but they're nothing that is on par with any of those. They're not that powerful. You have like a deployable shield, an ammo box, and like stopping power bullets, which made your weapons do more damage, but I don't know by how much. But those weren't nothing that like were game changing whenever you activated them or anything. There were other ones that weren't unlocked for the beta, and the only one that really stuck out to me was Tactical Insert, which I think the last time that was in a Call of Duty game was Black Ops 2, and it was a huge issue, man. You could spawn trap people with it, so I'm kind of worried to see that come back, but maybe they'll balance it out to where it's not so powerful, I don't know. But Tac Insert is a bit of a problem. When it came to all the guns that were available in the beta, I liked everything except the shotguns, and I didn't use any of the marksman rifles. All the ARs, all the subs, the one sniper rifle that was unlocked, it was all good. Sniper rifle was surprisingly effective. You see me use it a lot in this gameplay. I'm not the best at sniping by any means in Call of Duty. I've always been kind of average, probably below average, but I was kind of going off in some of the games I was playing. When it comes to the time to kill, it's the classic Call of Duty thing where it feels like people melt you in like half a second, but it feels like they take every shot in the world. Like felt like I was shooting people forever, and then I watched the gameplay and like my bullets aren't even hitting them, though on my screen it looked like they were, and they're killing me so damn fast. And we complained about it a lot the past couple days we've been playing. Like people were just monsters when they're playing this game. I don't know if we're playing against some pros or what, but people would just like aim up across the map and hit us with like submachine guns, iron sights. It was insane. I don't know. When it came to TDM, there were 3 maps available. I liked all 3 of them. You're only going to see one in this gameplay because I captured this gameplay within like the last hour that the beta was available. I wasn't even planning on necessarily doing a review. I'd considered it, and then today I woke up, played a little bit of the game. I was like, you know what? Let's record some gameplay and let's talk about the game. So you're only going to see this one map right here, but all 3 of them I did enjoy. I mentioned Ground War earlier, which was a pretty cool game mode. It's pretty much Battlefield within Call of Duty. There's like 5 flags on this big-ass map. You have teams of 32 versus 32, and you just got to capture each of those, and you earn points over time for every zone that you have captured, and the first team to 250 points wins. That was fun. We played the hell out of that. I didn't expect it to be so stable, and the game in general, for a Call of Duty beta, was absolutely like fantastic. I don't think I had any lag or any stuttering at all, especially for the 32 versus 32. That was surprising. Like the early stages of a big game mode like that, I figured we'd be bouncing around and lagging all the time, but it was completely fine for me. We played a lot. We played like probably 10, 15 games throughout the past couple days, and it was fantastic. On to the negative parts of this video. For starters, no pick 10. Like the pick 10's gone now. You're forced to run a primary. You're forced to run a secondary of some sort. You're forced to run a tactical and a lethal. You can only have one perk 1, one perk 2, one perk 3, and that is it. Now, by technicality, you do have more options than a pick 10 because your primary weapon by default can have up to 5 attachments on them as you unlock them, which would fill up, what, like 6 spots by itself? Even more than that because you have to run like wild cards like primary gunfighter 1 or 2 or whatever to put more attachments on there. So that is better. But the thing is, I love the pick 10 system just because I can build my classes however I want to. Like a lot of times when it comes to pick 10, I'll build a class without any grenades at all, any equipment at all, and just focus on my primary, no secondary either. Just focus on my primary and my perks, and I don't have that option. I don't have that freedom. It feels like World War II. World War II, like, I hated the division system, because what used to be perks were now locked behind certain divisions, and you can only have one division at a time. You can only have one basic training at a time, which was essentially your only perk you could choose. And World War II was similar to this game, to where it forced you to run a secondary, like a pistol or whatever, and grenades, where a lot of times when it comes to building my classes, I don't often use those. I'll build them classes with those every now and then with grenades. I don't often run like pistols or anything secondaries. If I run a secondary, it's usually like overkill, where I'll run a second primary, or I'll run a launcher for like UAVs and other score streaks. So again, there's more here than a Pick 10 system usually offers, but I still feel like I have wasted parts of my class, because I'm not using my pistol ever. I hardly ever use a launcher, even when I have it equipped, and the grenades, I do use those here and there, mostly claymores and proximity mines, because the maps are so big. Now, that is one negative of the maps I didn't mention earlier. They're decently sized, and they're not 3-lane anymore, so it's kind of hard to get used to all the different vantage points people can have on you. So even if I have a frag grenade or a Simtex on my class, I don't often even get kills or hit markers with it, just because of how big the maps are and how many different routes and paths there are. Like, it's just not often, unless you have somebody that's posted up like in a window or a building and you throw a frag grenade in there, you're not often going to get kills. Like, it's sheer luck if you get one. One thing I can praise about building classes and customizing your weapons in this game, however, is that there is an insane fucking amount of attachments. I'm talking like 20 to 30 plus attachments for like most of the guns. Like when it comes to like an AR, like your basic assault rifle, there's probably, in the beta alone, like 30 attachments. It's insane. You'll have like 4 or 5 for each of the categories. You can only equip one from that category. Like an underbarrel, only one at a time. A magazine attachment, one at a time. Things like that. And generally speaking, when it comes to each attachment, they'll have positives and negatives, or pros and cons, as it'll tell you in the menu. Like, it might increase your aim down sight speed and your idle sway, but it'll lower your like movement speed or something like that. This can promote so many different builds of classes. Like, you could have like 4 or 5 classes loadouts of the exact same gun, but with all kinds of different attachments on it for different kinds of playstyles. And I absolutely love it. That looks pretty fun to me. As I mentioned previously, kill streaks are back instead of score streaks, which I've never really been a fan of, because I guess technically you got to be more skilled to earn those, because you have to get kills, specifically kills, to earn them. 2 or 3 kills to earn this one or whatever. But I've always been a fan of score streaks, because that means that everything you do within that game mode earns you points towards your streaks or whatever. So if you're playing objective game mode, for example, you're obviously going to earn your streaks a lot quicker, because things like domination or whatever, you earn a lot of points for taking flags and all that stuff. Well, there's really no incentive other than just to try to win the game mode to really play the objective, right? Before, if you were really playing the objective hard, again, for domination, we're just using that as an example, you rewarded a lot. Like, if you take 2 or 3 flags within one life, you're going to earn a shit ton of points and earn a lot of your streaks. Well, now it's like you have to get kills specifically, which I mean, that maybe it's controversial. People have different opinions, and I've just always been a fan of score streaks over kill streaks. And I believe that'll pretty much wrap up my thoughts for the beta. I'll probably get this game based on the TDM and the ground war alone. Those are 2 fun game modes. I can see myself playing those for a long time. I did hear there's not going to be a prestige system in the game. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. If so, that's kind of stupid. I hope that they don't take out prestige. And if there ends up being a battle royale, which has been rumored for a long time, that'll put it over the top for me. It'll be more worth the money. And that's probably what I'll be exclusively playing. Every now and then I might hop into some TDM or ground war with the friends or whatever, with the party, with the squad. But for the most part, I'll probably just be playing battle royale exclusively. So if you happen to have played the Modern Warfare beta over the past couple of days, what were your thoughts on it? Did you enjoy it? Did you like the game modes, the maps, the weapons, things like that? Did you agree or disagree with some of the stuff I said in my video? And are you going to pick up this game next month, October 25th? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys aren't new. And we'll save day with more, I guess, Call of Duty content. I don't really know if I'm going to do videos on this. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. And my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity, or at least just peace of mind. Give me